Once a bully, always a bully. Isn't that right?
Meghan Markle is attempting to distract by showing a series of holiday photos. She's attempting to deflect from negative headlines in People magazine, and it's not going to work.
Markle strikes again. This time, the latest person caught in the crossfire is Po Ling Yao. It seems Meghan is back to throwing her weight around as though she's the one calling all the shots. How many bullying allegations does this make? I've lost count.
Meghan Markle has finally responded after reports claim she left a beloved MasterChef Australia judge in tears. But instead of killing the story, her response has opened a new fight. Her team says everything was wonderful. The judge was reportedly left upset. Awkward scenes were allegedly removed. And then, right as the backlash exploded, Meghan suddenly posted a glossy collection of happy family holiday photos.
But of course, Meghan couldn't just leave it at that. No. She has had to turn this now into an international omni-shambles, with her people immediately rushing to one of her favorite publications, Page 6, in the New York Post, and insisting that Po was wrong.
So what are we looking at here? A simple summer album? Or a carefully timed distraction designed to drag attention away from another television disaster? Today, we are breaking down Meghan's response, the apology that reportedly never happened face-to-face, the scenes viewers may never see, and the family photo dump that arrived at the most convenient possible moment. Because this story is no longer just about one awkward day on MasterChef. It is about what happens every time Meghan faces a damaging headline.
That is not good for Meghan, obviously, and it continues a pattern of her being difficult to work with. That has been the argument for years now. The reporting for years now is that she is difficult.
The denial arrives. The friendly source appears. The perfect pictures follow. And suddenly everyone is told there was never a problem at all. If you missed the full MasterChef story, we covered the entire situation right here on Crown Clash, so check that video after this one. The basic claim was explosive.
Meghan Markle made one of the co-hosts cry.
Meghan allegedly clashed with Judge Po Ling Yao. Po was reportedly left in tears or deeply upset, and she wanted to apologize after realizing that calling Meghan royalty had created a problem.
The judge, she was left upset, and she actually wanted to reach out to Meghan, but was advised not to bother.
But according to the reports, she was told not to approach Meghan directly and to let production handle it. That is all we need to revisit from yesterday, because today the story moved. A source close to Meghan has now spoken to People and flatly disputed the negative reports.
And this is the problem, isn't it? Are you a woman that believes in the validity of other women's feelings, or are you someone that actually thinks you're always right? Because this source close to Meghan Markle told Page 6 that the Duchess and Po actually had a great time together on set. The source added there was no frustration on Meghan's side about anything that was said on set. Oh, really? Really? Are you sure? Because Po doesn't seem to think so.
The message was simple. Meghan had a great time. She got along with the judges. She enjoyed meeting the contestants and crew. Nothing said on set frustrated her. Any suggestion otherwise was false. Really? Then why did this response need to exist? Think about it.
They got it from Harry and Meghan's team, and the point is that they got it from Harry and Meghan's team so that Meghan can dispute public narratives.
If the filming day was completely warm, easy, and joyful, why did a source close to Meghan suddenly need to provide such a detailed defense? Why not let the episode air? Why not allow Po, the producers, or Network 10 to explain what happened? Why does the loudest reassurance come from someone close to Meghan? That does not prove the original report was true. But it absolutely shows that somebody believed the story was damaging enough to answer immediately.
Meghan and the MasterChef judges had a great time on set together. Sure. The close source tells People, i.e. Meghan's PR guy. They immediately had such a great rapport and had a really fun time working with contestants and crew as well. Meghan left the set that day with such a positive experience. I'm sure, as much as she horses a style like this. Yeah.
Before we continue, I want to mention something really quick. Organizing your family's important information is one of those things most of us know we should do, but we keep putting it off. That's exactly why there's the Family Vault. It gives you one place to organize your important documents, insurance, medical information, passwords, and more, so everything is easy to find when it's needed. You'll find the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. That's all. Now let's get back to today's story. And the wording matters. The source did not simply say there was no argument. The source painted a full picture of happiness. A great time, a strong rapport, fun with the contestants, a positive experience with the crew. It sounds less like a casual correction and more like a complete replacement narrative.
things were so bad that the producers had to step in several times.
Do not look at the awkward report. Look at this perfect version instead. But the two versions do not fit together easily. The original reporting claimed that Poe's bubbly personality attracted attention from contestants, while Meghan was expected to be the central guest.
Insiders, the dynamics on set didn't always match what viewers will see in the final edit. Several of the contestants frequently gravitated towards Judge Poe Ling-Yao for reassurance and feedback rather than focusing solely on Meghan as the headline guest. That's alluding to a spy on the show.
It claimed producers stepped in several times to keep the filming focused and moving. It also claimed some jokes or exchanges did not land and were removed from the final edit. Then came the royalty introduction, which reportedly upset Poe because she believed she had accidentally crossed a line set by Meghan's team. The response from Meghan's side says there was no frustration at all.
Perhaps the most uncomfortable moment came after the cameras stopped rolling when promotional material touting Meghan's upcoming appearance saw Poe introducing her as royalty. And you'll remember the reporting was that her team were frustrated about that and they were outside the studio when the introduction happened, and Poe was upset because she didn't realize that by using the word royalty, she'd gone against Meghan's wishes. And you can't blame her, can you, given the actual feature of the show, which Meghan's team had all signed off, was a segment called A Dish Fit for a Duchess.
So which is it? Were the reports completely invented? Was there a minor misunderstanding that has been exaggerated? Or did production smooth over a tense day and leave viewers with a polished version that hides everything uncomfortable? That final possibility is exactly why this story is not going away before the episode airs. Television is edited. Everyone understands that. Hours of footage become minutes. Pauses disappear. Reactions are cut. Awkward exchanges vanish.
With behind-the-scenes sources revealing that while things looked picture-perfect on screen, tensions were simmering beneath the surface. A bit like her spread, I guess.
A tense room can be turned into a cheerful sequence with music, applause, and quick camera changes. That is normal production. But once insiders claim specific uncomfortable moments were removed, every edit becomes suspicious. Viewers will now watch Meghan's face. They will watch Poe's face. They will notice every cut. They will ask why one conversation ends so quickly. They will replay the introduction.
And actually, Ms. Booch said, "Oh my God, I think the magazine that said Meghan made poor Poe cry is believable because holy shit, someone caught a shot of her mask slip at Poe and M looked pissed."
They will search for any moment that looks colder than the official story suggests. Meghan's denial may have been designed to calm the audience. Instead, it may have turned the episode into a frame-by-frame investigation.
And Milano has produced a quite astonishing video which reveals that over a long period of time, across multiple continents, multiple countries, there have been a long, long list of Meghan's victims.
And what about the apology? Reports said Poe wanted to apologize after learning that the word royalty had caused an issue. But she was reportedly advised not to speak to Meghan directly and to leave the situation to producers. That means the apology was never handled naturally between two women standing in the same studio. It became a production issue.
Poe felt she had been unintentionally drawn into a royal protocol issue she never intended to be a part of. A different insider shared a lighter observation about Poe's personality on set, saying Poe is full of energy, she's always joking and lifting the mood. She tried to bring that same spark with Meghan, cracking a few playful lines, but not all of it landed as intended. It's difficult, isn't it, if you're a kind woman and you're dealing with a woman-hating bitch?
Why? If Meghan truly was not bothered, why could Poe not simply walk over and say, "I am sorry, I did not mean anything by it"? And here, "Do not worry, it is fine." That would have ended the entire situation in 10 seconds. Instead, according to the reporting, communication went through other people.
The producers stepped in several times to keep filming on track.
The producers stepped in. The concern was managed. Poe was left believing she had created a royal protocol problem on a cooking show built around a challenge called A Dish Fit for a Duchess. Does that make sense to anyone? The show was openly using Meghan's Duchess title. The promotion was built around her royal connection. Her arrival was treated as a major event, but the word royalty was apparently the dangerous line.
If this was a one-off situation, you'd think, oh, maybe these two just had a personality clash, right? I mean, I don't know this Poe, okay? I don't know Poe. Maybe she's a bit of a cow too, but that isn't my understanding, Lady C. She seems to be an incredibly popular figure in Australia. And given Meghan's track record, I am inclined to believe that these sources to New Idea are correct. She was simply trying to make Meghan feel comfortable, trying to be warm, and you saw that look. Meghan hated her.
You cannot sell the Duchess and then act shocked when someone describes the Duchess as royal. That contradiction is what made the original story so believable to many viewers. It was not some enormous confrontation with plates flying across the kitchen. It was smaller, stranger, and more familiar. A request, an uncomfortable reaction, nervous producers, and another person left feeling that they had said the wrong thing around Meghan.
Meghan can't stand anybody who outstrips her in any way, shape, or form, and that she immediately had her competitive vibes and antennae up, and she was about to annihilate Poe and did everything she could to sort of discomfit her.
Then came the response. And almost immediately, Meghan gave the public something completely different to discuss. Happy family photographs. A smiling Meghan and Harry. Archie sitting in a plain cockpit. Harry throwing Lilibet into a swimming pool. A beach. Flowers. A family meal. A glimpse of Althorp, Princess Diana's childhood home. Carefully selected memories from a summer holiday spread across Portugal and the United Kingdom.
So it just seems really, really odd to me.
On their own, the pictures are harmless. Families post holiday photographs every day. Meghan is allowed to share moments from her life. There is nothing automatically suspicious about a summer album. But timing changes everything.
Meghan Markle is attempting to distract by showing a series of holiday photos, her summer holiday photos on Instagram, despite reports that she made one of the co-hosts on MasterChef basically cry. She's attempting to deflect from negative headlines in People magazine, and it's not going to work. And she's also probably trying to distract from Prince Harry's horrific last couple of weeks, where he face planted so hard into the UK, he left an imprint of his face and got utterly humiliated by the High Court.
Why release this collection right as the MasterChef backlash is growing? Why now, when reports are focused on alleged tension, tears, an apology, and edited scenes? Why hand the media 11 softer images on the exact day her team is trying to replace a negative narrative? Coincidence? Possibly? Useful? Absolutely.
All right, guys, so this is Althorp. So I didn't catch this at first, but this picture is clearly taken from Althorp, which is Diana's childhood estate there, confirming that they were in the UK for the naysayers out there. I double checked. This is definitely within the gardens. I just didn't think it was. It didn't strike me as that. I thought it was like Portugal.
Within hours, the conversation shifted. Instead of only discussing Po Ling Yao, headlines were suddenly about Archie in the cockpit, Lilibet in the pool, Harry at Althorp, the family's European holiday, and Meghan and Harry looking happy together. That is how a photo dump works in a media storm. It does not erase the original story. It floods the space around it.
It's very easy to curdle milk, and Meghan curdles milk at the drop of a hat. And I think that's what was really happening.
One difficult headline becomes 10 soft headlines. One allegation about behavior becomes a debate about family privacy, Diana's legacy, the children, travel, marriage, and reconciliation with King Charles. And Meghan knows exactly how powerful those subjects are. She did not post a bowl of lemons or another jar of jam. She posted the family, she posted Harry, she posted the children, she posted a location connected to Princess Diana.
They were at the estate, so this does confirm that the kids and Harry and everybody were in the UK. I never doubted that, but others did, so now we have some confirmation.
Those are the images guaranteed to dominate royal coverage. Was that planned as damage control? We cannot know Meghan's private motive, but critics are asking the question because the timing is almost too perfect.
No matter what Meghan does, things never go well for her. And I think it's because she just brings negativity and toxicity wherever she goes. And because of that, every headline is negative. Every story is negative, despite how, like, a situation might be fine. But because I think of her reputation and because I think of her attitude.
The photographs also answer another problem Meghan and Harry have been facing. For weeks, reports and commentators have questioned whether the couple are living increasingly separate professional lives. Harry was traveling. Meghan was promoting her own projects. Public appearances together had become less frequent. Rumors were growing. Then suddenly, Here they are laughing together. Message delivered. They are together, they are happy, they are traveling as a family, nothing is wrong.
Man, her hair is bad. I'm sorry, I do not see his attraction to her whatsoever. They're attempting to sell that there.
Again, perhaps that is simply reality, but when a celebrity posts a carefully chosen image during a wave of negative headlines, the picture is never just a picture. It becomes a statement without words. And this statement was loud. Look at us, not MasterChef. Look at Harry smiling, not the reports of tension. Look at the children, not the judge who was reportedly upset. Look at Diana's estate, not the apology that never happened directly.
And I think MasterChef is kind of sort of figuring that out. That inviting Meghan Markle, although I will say I believe her PR team lobbied for her to be on it, didn't go too well for them. Now, of course, the ratings will be kind of the end all be all. But Meghan, because of her attitude, reportedly really upsetting one of the co-hosts, maybe making her cry, and just the general attitude, Meghan has to come out and go, oh, no, no, no. It was fine, guys. It was fine. I had a great... No, you didn't have a great time, Meghan. I don't think you had a good time.
The most emotionally powerful image appears to be the family's visit to Althorpe. Harry and the children were shown walking through the estate with flowers, strongly suggesting a private visit connected to Diana's resting place. That image instantly pulls the story into deeper territory. It is no longer a celebrity holiday. It becomes memory, grief, family history, and Harry introducing his children to their grandmother's legacy. Who wants to argue about an awkward MasterChef set while looking at that? That is why the choice is so effective.
Yikes, this already sounds like a train wreck for Meghan. And she also, Brittany of the Royal News Network, also pointed out that this choice of thumbnail by Channel 10 News, remember Channel 10 is the broadcaster airing this show on Sunday night in Australia, seems rather fitting. Meghan's expression is so incredibly forced and teetering on manic.
Diana changes the emotional temperature immediately. Critics can question Meghan's television behavior, but the moment Diana enters the story, the headlines soften. The language becomes touching, meaningful, rare, and intimate.
An elevated attitude from marrying Prince Harry, I think her arrogance and all these sorts of things, she has sort of really very much diminished her own money earning potential because people look at her and they just see a mess. They don't want to get engaged with it. They don't want to get involved with it because it can only lead to disaster.
And suddenly Meghan is no longer the difficult guest from the MasterChef report. She is a mother sharing a family pilgrimage. That does not mean the Althorpe visit was fake. It does not mean the moment was not meaningful to Harry and the children. Both things can be true. The visit can be genuine, and the decision to release the photographs can still serve a public relations purpose. The real question is why the public was shown these private moments now.
This should be so simple, and yet because it's Meghan, it's always so hard. Can you imagine working for her PR team?
Harry and Meghan have repeatedly argued that their family needs privacy and protection. Yet when pressure builds, private family moments become public material.
Archie in the pilot's seats, because maybe he can be a pilot because his dad couldn't.
The children's faces may be limited or carefully angled, but their lives are still being used to tell a larger story. Happy home, loving parents, meaningful travel, strong marriage, royal connection. Privacy appears to be strict when other people want the images. It becomes flexible when the images help control the narrative. Is that privacy, or is it ownership of the publicity?
They had to cut out sections of the show because it looked bad. And again, not surprised, Meghan has this reputation. And so now they have to go with a positive spin. Oh, no, no, no. Meghan had a great time on MasterChef Australia, sources say, disputing frustration report. Yeah, no, I don't believe you.
Meghan does not seem to reject attention. She seems to reject attention she cannot manage. That is the pattern critics see. When the headline is flattering, the public receives photographs, interviews, products, family details, and carefully written exclusives. When the headline is negative, the response is that the story is false, unfair, intrusive, or driven by people with an agenda.
And as for the excuse that she was introduced as royalty, I mean, you and I both know that if Meghan had truly objected to that introduction, she could have very simply got them to redo the introduction. So, I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors and, as usual, a whole load of rubbish about nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think, but I think that's it in a nutshell.
But you cannot invite the public into the holiday album and then act surprised when the public studies the timing. You cannot use family images to generate positive coverage and demand that nobody ask what those images may be distracting from. And let us return to the people response, because that article now looks even more important beside the photographs.
But of course, Meghan couldn't just leave it at that. She couldn't just accept, okay, there was some bad behavior, Poe ended up upset. No. She has had to turn this now into an international omni-shambles, with her people immediately rushing to one of her favorite publications, Page 6, in the New York Post, and insisting that Poe was wrong.
First, a source close to Meghan insists the filming experience was wonderful. Then Meghan posts visual evidence of another wonderful experience. The message across both stories is identical. Everything is fine. MasterChef was fine. The judges were fine. The family is fine. The marriage is fine. The holiday was beautiful. Nothing to see here. But when somebody says everything is fine that many times in one day, people naturally start looking for the fire.
It wasn't major drama, just a few awkward moments during filming that were adjusted in the final edit. That's what you call a PR desperately trying to not lie to one of their journalistic contacts while also acknowledging that something very bad had gone on.
Poe did not create this media storm. She introduced a famous guest during a cooking program. Yet she is now at the center of a debate about Meghan's behavior, royal titles, production edits, and public relations warfare. And the episode has not even aired. Imagine being Network 10.
There was an early expectation that Meghan would be the central focus of the day, but the reality on set was even more uneven. So basically, the contestants clearly loved this judge far more than they loved Meghan, and Meghan didn't like that.
You secured one of the biggest international guests MasterChef Australia has ever had. The appearance should have been easy promotion. Meghan enters the kitchen, speaks to contestants, discusses food, smiles for cameras, and leaves. Instead, the network is facing questions about tiers, tension, cutscenes, title rules, and whether the Stars team is fighting reports before viewers have seen the footage.
How can you mess this up? How can you mess up the simplest layup in the world by going on MasterChef? And Meghan can't do it. A MasterChef, she's a master mess.
How does Meghan turn a cooking show into a royal crisis? That is the punchline critics keep returning to. The assignment was simple. Walk into the kitchen, taste food, encourage contestants, smile, go home.
I don't think, again, you really care about the topic you're trying to kind of weasel your way into, which is cooking, which is why it's not working.
Yet somehow producers reportedly had to manage the atmosphere. A judge allegedly felt upset, a direct apology did not happen, sources began briefing rival versions, and a family photo album landed in the middle of the fallout. And only Meghan could make Brussels sprouts feel like a constitutional emergency. Now the pressure moves to the broadcast. If the episode looks warm and completely normal, Meghan's defenders will say the entire controversy was invented. They will point to smiles and friendly exchanges as proof. But edited television cannot fully settle a behind-the-scenes dispute.
Polling Yao's bubbly, lovely-seeming personality did not mesh well with the mean girl energy from Meghan Markle, who attempts to seem nice but is really not, if you know what I mean.
A polished final cut only proves that producers created a polished final cut. If the episode contains visible awkwardness, the backlash becomes worse. Every cold look will be clipped. Every pause will travel across social media. Every sudden edit will be treated as evidence that something was removed. And if the episode performs badly in the ratings, critics will say Meghan failed to deliver the audience expected from such a heavily promoted guest.
It was a bit awkward. At times, this source insisted you could tell Meghan was wondering what was going on.
If it performs well, Meghan will claim victory. Either way, the controversy has guaranteed attention. Perhaps that is the only win nobody can dispute. But attention is not always admiration. Meghan has spent years trying to build a new image around lifestyle, cooking, warmth, home, friendship, and family.
That's someone who constantly talks about online bullying, is actually one of the biggest bullies in the world, and has a whole network of bullies operating on her behalf as part of the Sussex squad.
MasterChef should support that brand perfectly. It places her beside food, creativity, and ordinary contestants chasing a dream. It is exactly the kind of television appearance that should make her seem approachable. That is why these reports are so damaging. They attack the image at its weakest point. You cannot sell warmth while a beloved judge is reportedly crying. You cannot sell female support while another woman allegedly leaves the set feeling humiliated or frightened that she broke a rule. You cannot sell authenticity while sources and producers appear to be fighting over what viewers are allowed to see. so the response had to be fast.
Could it be that the host, one of the co-hosts is like, nope, I'm not responding because I did have a crappy time with her. This is a pattern. This is not an aberration. This is a pattern.
Before we continue, one quick thing. One thing I've realized is that most families don't have their important information organized in one place. That's exactly why I recommend the Family Vault, a simple printable and fillable organizer where you can keep everything from important documents and insurance to medical information, passwords. You'll find the link in the description, or you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. Now let's get back to today's story. And the photographs had to be stronger than the accusation. A denial alone is dry. A source saying she had a great time does not dominate social media. But Archie in a cockpit, Harry throwing Lilibet into a pool, a visit to Diana's family home, those images travel. That is why the sequence matters. Negative report, friendly denial, emotional photographs, new headlines, old story pushed down.
And it was nothing to do with poor Poe saying royalty. It was to do with the fact that the entire challenge was called a dish fit for a duchess. So there she is using her royal title. And my understanding, Lady C, is she wasn't doing this show for altruistic reasons. She was doing it for a big, fat paycheck.
Does that prove a coordinated distraction? No. But would a professional public relations team be thrilled with the result? Of course. The problem for Meghan is that audiences are no longer watching only the content. They are watching the strategy. Every exclusive is examined. Every photograph is timed. Every source close to Meghan sounds like a response from Meghan herself. The more polished the correction becomes, the more people suspect somebody is managing a crisis behind the curtain. And that is where this story stands now. Meghan's side says the MasterChef appearance was joyful, and the negative reports are false.
But of course, Meghan couldn't just leave it at that. She couldn't just accept, okay, there was some bad behavior, Poe ended up upset. No. She has had to turn this now into an international omni-shambles, with her people immediately rushing to one of her favorite publications, Page 6, in the New York Post, and insisting that Poe was wrong.
Earlier reporting says Poe was upset, awkward material was removed, and producers stepped in to manage the day. Poe reportedly wanted to apologize, but the matter was handled through production instead. Then Meghan released a collection of happy family images that immediately redirected royal coverage toward Harry, the children, Portugal, the United Kingdom, and Princess Diana. What do you believe?
These pictures showing that vile look, the type of look that she used to shoot at Catherine and Prince Harry all the time.
Was the MasterChef story exaggerated from one minor misunderstanding? Was Meghan's team forced to correct a completely false narrative? Or did the denial and photo dump reveal just how urgently they wanted the public looking somewhere else? And here is the biggest question. When the episode finally airs, will viewers see a warm celebrity guest enjoying the kitchen? Or will they spot the exact tension producers were reportedly trying to hide?
They are going to try to make their way back to the UK, and that's been reported, and that they'll hang out in Portugal, kind of make their way there. There could be an argument that at some point they go, you know what, we have our forever home in Portugal, and we're going to sell our Montecito home. Because I would imagine the home in Portugal is half the price, and they may be getting a good chunk of space, because I think it's probably a little bit cheaper there. They can sell their home, avoid the costs of it, and then maybe relocate to Portugal.
Because the cameras may have stopped rolling months ago, but Meghan's MasterChef crisis is only getting started. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was the family photo dump innocent summer sharing or perfectly timed damage control? Do you believe Meghan's source, or do you think Poe's reported reaction tells the real story? And after this, will you be watching the episode more closely? Subscribe to Crown Clash and turn on notifications because we will be watching every edit, every reaction, and every new response when Meghan's MasterChef appearance finally airs. This story is moving fast, and if another detail drops, you already know we will break it down right here.